Guys, welcome to Seal Rescue Ireland. We are doing a pup shower here today. So Seal Rescue Ireland is a charity organisation in Courtown, County Wexford. We look after sick, injured and orphaned seal pups found all around Ireland. We cover about 3,000 kilometres of coastline, so it's a lot of coastline for our little rescue centre here. We are the only seal rescue centre in the Republic of Ireland. So any seal that needs help will have to come down to us. So we are in the middle of Common Seal Pupping season, so they have their pups June, July, August. So we have about 12 pups here. We're going to be able to show you guys some are a little poorly and that they just won't be able to be seen. So all of the pups that we have here today have been orphaned, so that means they've been separated by their moms, either by human disturbance or storms due to climate change and stuff like that. So we have our first seal pup here, so they've all just had their lunch, so they're all a little bit sleepy. So we have our first one here, if you guys want to have a little look at her. She is a female. She was rescued on the 9th of July. She was from Rush in County Dublin and she came in at 10 kilos. So common seals are born between 8 and 12 kilos, so she's an okay size. She was actually on her own for quite a few days. We did monitor her for a couple of days just to see if mom would come back. Unfortunately she didn't, so we made the decision to lift her. So how we lifted her is that we have a rescue network volunteer kind of network, and we have over 800 people all around the coast of Ireland. So they do a little training course for us. It is free. We have an interest list online which you can sign up to, and when we have a training in your area we'll email you and we'll be able to give you that course so you can help us rescue sick little seal pups like N15 here. They're very cute. And so we can go on to our next pup. So this is she's so cute, N010. She was rescued on the 3rd of July, again from Rush in Dublin. She was underweight, so you can see how skinny she is. She has little hip bones. Her neck is quite visible, her neck bone. But she's again just having a nice little snooze. She came in at 7 kilos. She had an infected umbilical cord and a left front flipper abscess. So there was a lot of oozing from those wounds, so we started her on some antibiotics just to clear up that infection, and she seems to be doing a lot brighter now. You might see her mom in there with her. So what that is a wetsuit mom, so it represents like a seal mom. So these guys should really be with their moms for the first 5 to 6 weeks of their life. And they are going to learn a lot of hunting skills from her, where the haul out spots are. So it's really important that these guys stay with their moms for those 5 to 6 weeks. This is how they learn to eat as well. And these wetsuits are upcycled from Lynn, the upcycle movement, and it's just some wetsuit over some kind of sailing stuff as well, all recycled and put to good use here with the seal pups, and they'll suckle and cuddle up to it for comfort. So we have another seal pup in here. They're all snoozing, all in their little food comas. She's a pretty one. This is N016, our most recent rescue. She was rescued on the 11th from Mead actually. So you might be like, oh, a seal in Mead. Mead has a little bit of coastline where we get seals. We get quite a few seals from there as well. She was again orphaned. She was 7.8 kilos. So you might notice her tummy is a little bit blue. Is she gonna show us? No, she's hiding it. She's a little bit shy. So that's just an antibacterial spray that we spray our pups that come in. So again, these pups are orphaned, so they're only a few days old when they get into us. Their umbilical cords are still open, which means that it can easily get infected if we're not careful. So we saline rinse it out, and then we'll spray a Chlorohex spray, which is an antiseptic, and then the antibacterial blue spray as well. It will come off in time, but just for now they just have blue little belly buttons. You can see she's a beautiful pattern on her. So Common Seal's coat is individual to each seal. So she has lovely speckling as well. She's showing you her teeth as well. So all these babies would come in with no teeth, so they're just coming through as well. An interesting point on her is her ears, so you might be able to see it. She has a white kind of pattern, and then her ear hole is just that little black dot there. So seals lack external ears. So what that is just they kind of just like sea lions or us, we have that external earlobe. Seals lack that, so they're known as true seals. She's giving a nice little show. Okay, and then we have one final pup in the ICU that we're going to be able to see. So this is N013. She was rescued, a lot of females. She was rescued on the 9th of July from Silverstrand Beach, County Galway. She was orphaned at 8 kilos. So why she came into us, she was orphaned most likely maybe because of a storm. And then Silverstrand's quite a small beach as well, so and can be quite popular, so it would have been too busy for the mom to come back as well. We do monitor the pups for a couple of hours just to make sure that mom isn't trying to come back, and if not, we will then lift the pup as well. She's quite snoozy. You can see those big long whiskers as well. So the whiskers they'll use for hunting, so they can sense the vibrations in the water from fish, other animals as well, so they're able to locate. And then they can confirm with those big dark eyes that let in a lot of helps them see in low lit areas as well. And they do puppy dog eyes better than puppies. And then you can see her coat is just lightly kind of lighter than the other ones. So again, each speckle is individual to each common pup as well. So these are our pups in the ICU. So this is where they'll first come. They'll get weighed, and then they'll come into one of these boxes. So we're able to keep a close eye on them. There's a heat lamp over them as well to keep them nice and warm. So we keep the seals nice and warm, so all that food that we feed them is going into putting on loads of weight and not trying to keep themselves warm. So we keep them at a nice temperature, feed them all their food. They're going to put all that into nice blubbers so they are able to regulate their temperature better as well. Once they're doing well enough in the ICU is when they'll go to kennels. So we have 12 kennels, and I can show you some of the pups over there now. So these are our kennels. So each kennel is the same. There's an orange mat, a black mat, and then a bathtub. The orange mat is a heated mat, just like the light bulb or the heat mat in the heat lamp in the ICU. Again, we're keeping them at a good temperature, so all that food we're feeding them just goes into blubber. N008 was from Mayo. She came in at 7 kilos, so still quite small for a baby. She just got weighed today, and she's put on a little bit of weight, so she now weighs 7.4 kilos, which any weight gain is a good success for us as well. We weigh our pups every week, and just to make sure they're gaining weight as well. And if they're not gaining weight, we might look at it and see they might have like a parasite infection, and so we'll give them a dewormer, and then the next week they'll be putting on all the pounds. So that they all love to stay on the orange mat, especially after feeding time. The black mat is just for textural difference, and then the bathtub is for feeding. So we'll fill the baths up. So since these guys don't know how to eat on their own, we have to do fish school. So we'll tie a fish to a string, wiggle it around in the bathtub, just to kind of get their interest in the fish and kind of show them that fish is food, and then they'll start eating on it. So we have to kind of take over for them and kind of take over from their moms basically and show them how to hunt. And the bathtubs only get filled up at feeding times as well to mimic wild behaviors as much as possible. Seals spend a lot of time on land. They spend about 70% of their time on land. They're not always in the water. They breathe air just like us. So if they're on the beach, they're on the beach for a reason. They like to sunbathe, they like to have a little snooze, and then they use that time to reoxygenate their blood, so when they go diving they can go for longer dives and longer swims as well. So if you see a seal pup on the beach, please don't herd it into the water. It's not well, or it's just resting, so you can call us. We have a 24/7 hotline. It's 087 195 5393 if you're in Ireland. If you're tuning in from other parts of the world, you'll have rescue centres for your countries as well. We're going to go on to another pup. So here we have N007. They like to call him James Bond. All the 007s that come through get that nickname. So we're on season N. So we do our season, so it would have started as A, B, C, so on and so forth. So we're on to N now. So Seal Rescue Ireland has been operating since 2010. So we've had a lot of seals come through over those years. Last year we had 148 pups. This year we're on number 16. So we're expecting many more to come. So as we're currently in common seal season, which pups during the summer months, we'll then be expecting the grey seals to come during the winter. So Ireland has two native species, the grey seal and the common seal, or otherwise known as the harbour seal. So they're the only two species we get. We do get the odd Arctic vagrant. I don't know if you might know cloudberry. Someone's shouting at us over there. They want to be on screen. So commons are real, they're loving, they're looking for that affection from their moms. That's why they all get these little fake moms here that they can cuddle up to. And number 7 was rescued on the 1st of July, so near one of our first rescues from Cullinamore in County Sligo. Orphaned, again, all of them are orphaned. 8.2 kilos, and this one was actually held at a vet's temporarily, so Inish-free vets were able to hold onto him for a little bit just while we got our volunteer network to go collect them as well, to bring him on a trip over. And he's also gained some weight. He now weighs 8.4 kilos. So I did mention that we do weigh our seals, so we're actually going to weigh one right now so you guys can actually see the process of it. So we're going to weigh number 12. Number 12, a female, was rescued the 7th of July, and she was actually rescued in Wexford. So commons are usually found more on the west coast, but we do get the odd ones here as well. So these babies are all new to this as well. Maybe we can go on the other side. So what we'll do is we get a cage and we'll herd them in nice and gently. They'll pop into that cage, and then we have some low bars. So just herding them gently. Sometimes they just want to suckle us as well, and because these are wild animals, we really don't want them to get used to us. So if they come to suckle on our welly, we'll step away. Since these are babies, they're looking for that attention from their mom, but we're not going to give that to them. That's why we give them the moms. And then once they get a little bit older, they'll a switch will flick, and then they'll start growling at us and telling us to go away. So common seals all have this kind of dark, kind of speckly coat. It's the same for male and female, whereas great seals, you can tell the difference by the coat most of the time. So these are our load bars. And then we just do it a few times just to get an accurate number. So 20 has come up on our reader over there twice now, and then the cage weighs about 9.6. So she's actually put on a little bit of weight this week. And then once they're done being weighed, they just go back into the kennel. It's their little trip out. And sometimes they're a little bit slow to get out. They're just not. They want to go on a little holiday, so they don't want to go back into the kennel. But we might just leave her get out. We don't want to have too many people around her, and we'll have one more seal pup to show you, and she's a very special one as well. And she's fast asleep. So here we have N003. So she was a female rescued on the 22nd of June in Kellystown, County Sligo. She was one of the first pups of the season. She's having little dreams. She's doing very well, and she's also began fish school. So that's again where we tie fish to a string, wiggle it in the bath, kind of like a cat toy with a cat. So she's very, oh look, she's awake. She's like, hey guys. So what makes her so special is that she's one of the first pups of the season, and she's going to be the very first pup to get named. So with that, we have exciting news. So we can enter a raffle online to be with a chance to name her. Our naming theme is Bodies of Water, Irish Bodies of Water. She will also be going up for adoption when she has a name. So our adoptions are a once-off fee where you get to follow the journey of the seal you adopted. We currently have throwback adoptions of some past celebrities like Cloudberry, Scribbly Gum, and then all the proceeds raised goes into the care of all the pups at the centre. So that raffle ends tonight. So you guys can go online, you can enter the raffle. We have links in our bios as well. If you guys have any questions as well, pop them in the comments. We're happy to answer them if any's popped up. Any questions? No? And again, yes, so we have a chance to name this little cutie, like just snoozing on her heat mat. This is what they do all day. They snooze and then they make a mess. We go in and clean it, then they make a mess. But it's very rewarding, the work we do here, and we couldn't do it without the support of all of you guys as well. So yeah, I just have a little look at her. It's quite warm here as well, so we do go in and rinse them down. Just having a little stretch. So we also have, we're doing another live stream later on today, so for TikTok, and that'll be at 4 p.m. Again, we have some pups as well to show. And do we have a question? Yeah. Do you have more common seals this year to date compared to last year? So that's a very good question. I'd need to look back over the numbers. Last year we did about 17 to 20 commons for the whole season. So this year we're already on 16. So we're kind of already hitting that number. There's been a few more this month, and just with all the storms, you know, you guys know yourself, especially in Ireland, it's raining, then there are wind gusts, and then it's sunshine. It's just very hard on the pups, because if they go out for a swim, they're not used to swimming. You know, they've just been born. So if a storm rolls in and they get caught in it, they're going to be separated from their mom. So we're actually seeing a lot of pups come in a few days after the storms. We had 3 pups come in on one of the days last week. So I think we got about 5 or 6 pups last weekend. So yeah, it's just hard to know if we'll surpass that number. But yeah, definitely been a busy few weeks for us here. Any more questions? So again, guys, that's it for us, but I just want to remind everybody, if you see a seal pup on the beach, please keep your distance 100 meters, if possible, or even further as well. If that seal is looking at you, you've disturbed it. So if a seal is looking at you, step back, retreat, take some photos, and then send it to us, and we'll advise you on what's best to do for that seal. I think we got more questions. How many seals can we accommodate at the same time, and do you work with other rescue centers if they have no more room? Okay, yeah, so it depends on what process or what stage the seals are on. So if we have everybody, we have a few stages of feeding. So we have tube feeding, which is where we insert a tube down their throat, and we have free feeding, where they're able to eat fish on their own. So it just depends how many seals we have in care at the time and where they are in their rehabilitation process. So we have ICUs, kennels, and pools. So we only have 8 ICUs, and we have 12 kennels, and then we have 4 pools. So right now we have 12 tube feeds. So we're quite busy with these guys. They get fed between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. If they're quite sick, we'll come back in at midnight, and if they're really sick, we'll come back in at 4 a.m. We can comfortably rescue about 40 seals, 44 seals, but that's if a lot of them are free feeding and out in the pools. Our pools can hold, maybe 3 of them can hold about 10 seals, and then the other pool can hold about 4 seals. And then we can have our kennels and ICUs. Sometimes if we're quite busy, we'll have to double up our kennels and just have 2 seal per kennel. But that's if we're really busy. We had to do that maybe 2 years ago in the winter. But yeah, and then for other rescue centres, there's one in Northern Ireland with Explorers. And then if we're really stuck, I'm sure they'll be able to help us as well. I think we have more questions. Who is your cheekiest patient? Cheekiest patient, they're all cheeky in their own little way. Who's the cheekiest? Oh, that's a good question. This one can be quite cheeky, especially when you're doing fish school or cleaning her kennel. They'll start to kind of like slap at you and kind of growl a little bit. But yeah, they're all cheeky in their own little way. Alright guys, we're going to finish on that. Again, we're going to be doing this again at 4 o'clock for TikTok. Thank you so much for joining us as well. And don't forget to enter the raffle with a chance to name this pup.